to do an unboxing of a new product that we picked up today and purchased from Helen Sanderson Associates called the Little Pack of Habits. We're very excited about this at Community Bridges because we're moving into our second year where we are bringing habits into our organization based on the person-centered thinking tools that we've been learning about. Let's talk about habits though before we start. So our journey that we're on here involves, first of all, exposure to person-centered thinking tools, and we're moving then to competence. Our goal is through our workshops to learn all of the different tools that are involved with person-centered thinking and becoming confident in those so that we were able to try them and teach them to other people. But then we want to move to the final stage, which is bringing it into habit. Now, what do we know about habits? Well, there's a lot of good research that's been done on how you build habits, and we've all experienced through trial and error, different ways of changing our habits in our personal lives. And of course, there's been some nice publications on that. There's really, we want to talk about 7 different approaches that we want to consider in our journey. One, you know what your starting point is so that you can see the future progress. Number 2, you have a plan. Number 3, you make a public commitment about the goal that you want to reach in changing your habits. Also, number 4, you have ways to remind yourself of what you want to change. 5, you are supported by an individual or group. 6, you record and report back on your progress. And 7, there is recognition or rewards for improvements and success. And celebration, that's a big part of making sure that you get really hardwired into the new habits. So now for the unboxing. This is the exciting part. So here is the little pack of habits that we picked up, and we want to take a look at this. It's a very nice unit. It's flexible. You can carry it around. And one of the first things that you'll notice is that there really is no place to plug this thing in. There's no power cord. So the important thing to know is that the way to make this thing work is to bring the power of your own energy and commitment to it. So where's the on button to this new unit? There are no buttons here except for one, and it's a real button. So here's how you turn this thing on. Let's start taking a look at some of the great things here. One of the things we're doing at Community Bridges is we are selecting a tool for each month. So each month we identify a specific one of the person-centered thinking tools. We list them out, and here's a nice poster you can use. Person-centered thinking tool of the month. You can list the name of the tool that you're using. We put this throughout the agency offices, and this is what we ask for each team meeting that happens during that month. You start the meeting off with rounds, and you go around with each person reporting some ideas that they have about the tool of the month. Either something that they have tried and they sort of share that success or struggles with their teammates, or even just indicating some things that they're thinking of trying and maybe work with somebody else within the group. So the second thing that we want to take out of this packet here is this is part of creating a plan. So if you have made a public commitment at your team meeting and you're saying, I'm going to be trying, let's say, the donut sort with a particular staff person I'm working with or somebody I'm supporting, you put that into a plan, and you can do this with your supervisor. Here we have an action plan where you can list 3 tools that you're going to try, the reasons why. The priority person-centered thinking tool for me to develop my skills are these. What opportunities do I have to use them? What support will I need? How can I get or ask for the support? And what are our next steps? What are the next actionable, observable steps I'm going to take to make this thing really happen? So that's an important element. But of course, one of the things that you want to know first for developing habits is, where do you stand right now? So the learning community has created a really nice evaluation process, you can do a self-assessment. This is a chart actually of an assessment where you can list several people, and here's all the person-centered thinking tools at the top. But take a look at this rating scale. You can identify whether or not for a given tool that you're thinking about, important 2, important 4, for example, that 1, you're not using it, or maybe 2, you just started and you're still learning how and when to use it. 3, you might rate yourself as having learned how. You might be progressing and feeling that you're a rated 4 right now for that tool, where you're competent and confident, but you need reminders to be able to use that. And maybe you can get some help from one of your other teammates and work in pairs in that way. 5 is where we all want to reach a point where it becomes a part of a habit, something the sort of first thing that we go to when we're faced with a situation that we want to address in some way. Here's a wonderful chart that is next in this packet. It is my achievement using person-centered thinking. It's a nice description of sort of how you have traveled your journey through actually establishing a habit and what your journey was like. You could say at the top, an achievement I'm proud of when using person-centered thinking is this. What made me do it? How I felt beforehand and how I prepared. How did it turn out? What happened next? What happened first? And listing out people who helped me along the way. And what this achievement itself, bringing this skill into habit, says about me. And what helped me to make it go so well. And what are my next steps? Great way to celebrate and sort of document what you're doing. Another documentation that you can use, how about this little notebook where you're actually writing down, each of these pages are the same. You're writing the person-centered thinking tool and you're actually doing a daily notebook. One of the things that we use at Community Bridges is we have these little pads. These are actually sticky pads where you might find as you're moving along your day that you want to use a donut sort, and you can just peel off a sticky tab and say, yeah, maybe tomorrow I'm going to try this donut sort in this particular section in this activity. Or you can use these stickers. These can be laid out as reminders, so as you go through the day you can say, remind yourself, which person-centered thinking tool will I use this week? Or these, saying the same thing, which person-centered thinking tool did I use this week? Wonderful ways to remind yourself. So that's the unboxing. We're going to turn this unit off right now. A little pack of habits. We love what Helen Sanderson Associates create for us to sort of bring person-centered thinking into an organization. And we love what the learning community for person-centered practices has to offer. We encourage you to go onto their website. And let's have some fun.